There's some really incriminating stuff now coming to light regarding Brussels. Just super incriminating. I don't think we've ever had a false flag with this kind of footage. I'm just going to get right into it because there's a lot of information. The first one here, this video is really hard to find the source for. It's from a YouTuber called We See. I don't know where he got it from because I've looked everywhere over the internet and I've not found it anywhere else. However, the footage is in front of Mailbeek Station. Well, it's in front of the parking structure there. It appears the parking structure was where they staged a lot of stuff and brought people in and out, doing their makeup and whatnot. But what we see here is a police officer, someone identified as a police officer, leading this man, this kid, toward. He's walking towards the camera with his hand around him. Then there's a few people giving a cue, and he suddenly lets go of this guy, and they start running the other direction. So it appears as though it's a crisis actor who needs to be in a different location for his reveal or whatever his purpose was, and he's not in the right place. There's also this Asian man with the shoulder satchel, whatever, and he starts running right at the same time, and he's just standing around before. So these two are obvious crisis actors. This footage is just so incriminating. There's another shot when it's not just the kid running away, that's just these people standing around on the sidewalk, and it's just bizarre. This is just so bad. So here is the footage. See the kid, the signal's given, and then he runs in the other direction. There's speculation that this is the same person who was in the image of the person who's all bloodied sitting. I'm not exactly sure if it is, but either way, this is just total proof that this is a crisis actor who's in the wrong spot. Why would the police officer have his hand around his shoulder as if he's some sort of suspect or something, and then just completely let go of him as they both go running off? And then why would this Asian guy start following them? This is so sketchy, and this is just I've never seen anything like this in another false flag. It's just total proof. I'd love to find out where this footage was actually taken from. It appears that somebody who was not controlled was able to get the camera angle over all of the temporary police signs and everything else that was set up in the safety zone that they had. But again, this is just total incriminating evidence here. Alright, in this camera angle, again, I don't know where this footage came from because I scoured the internet for this kind of stuff and I just have not been able to find it anywhere but here. We see a lot of the crisis actors, and this is kind of the behind the scenes shot here where you see these civilians doing all this alleged CPR or whatever and putting bandages on people, but it's just extremely strange footage. The people milling around, some people don't seem to have any purpose. There's people with bags just kind of standing around. Some people are just kind of patting other people on the back. It's just really bizarre. The more we look into it, the more we're going to see here. This is just super incriminating footage here. The next point I'm going to look into quickly is this footage of the supposed third detonation, where the police allegedly detonated the third bomb.
Police also detonated a
But
possible bomb
again, what we
belt they
see
found at the airport.
is an explosion coming from the ceiling, and this kind of fits in with the alleged damage we've seen. It appears as though devices were planted in the ceiling, and that's why all the ceiling panels came falling down. What you see here is not smoke coming from the ground, but instead smoke coming out of the ceiling areas here. So I mean, it's just another indication that either there's probably supposed to be 3 devices that went off, and only 2 of them successfully went off, and the third one had to be set off after the fact, otherwise it might be found later. That's just what I'm assuming here. It doesn't make sense that they would detonate a third one and show it to the public. However, very few people have even seen this footage, and I had to search pretty hard to actually find this footage of the third detonation. So maybe they hid it from the public either because it's so obvious it's coming from the roof, or it didn't fit into the official narrative at first. So anyway.
Solidarity with them, condemning these outrageous attacks against innocent people.
The King of Belgium. Well, I'm joined now by Dominique Austin, a journalist with Euractiv, who's evacuated from...
Then he's going to pull through this.
How long will you be in the hospital?
Couple of weeks.
Oh.
He's had a history of close calls. Wells was a block away from the Boston Marathon bombing 3 years ago. And he was in France during the Paris attacks in November. Now this.